Over the last 10 years, I've lost 60 pounds and kept it off, and in this video I'm going to share the 10 fat loss cheat codes for ambitious professional men at your highest weight who keep restarting your diet and promising yourself at 2 a.m. that you are going to fix your diet. And by understanding this, by the end of this video, you'll lose the weight for good and break the cycle. If you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel yet, make sure you hit the subscribe button because I'm making a new video about weight loss advice for men every single week. I use these strategies to help dozens of men just like you lose up to 60 pounds and finally escape the yo-yo dieting cycle. If you're tired of constantly losing and gaining the same weight, I want to help you get to your healthy self without giving up the foods that you love. The first mistake that you're making is that you're eating too little too aggressively. For example, let's imagine that extreme calorie deficit are just going to make you feel hungry all the time. You are plummeting your energy levels, feeling exhausted, and you're restarting every single Monday. For example, you are already coming to Friday and you are wanting to binge, and that is going to reduce all the calorie deficit that you've been trying to burn throughout the week. So instead you should do 300 or 500 calorie deficit because that's more sustainable to lose weight and also have 45% of your daily calories coming from protein, because if you have higher protein diet, you are burning more fat and also burning even more when you are not resting and building more muscle. And for example, by doing this, you are going to lose weight without even breaking a sweat. If you want to lose the weight for good and become the most healthiest version of yourself, just like you saw with me and my client transformation in the beginning of the video, there's a link in the description and also in the comment section where you can apply for coaching with me, and we'll see if you and I are fit to work together, and I'll help you build a game plan to lose the weight for good. The next mistake that you're making is that you're relying on motivation instead of building sustainable system. For example, you are waiting until you are feeling ready, and that's going to help you because let's imagine that you are tired after work and you keep falling off your diet because you are just exhausted in the afternoon and you have no energy to go to the gym, and you feel like this is just going to be something that's happening every single week. And how are you going to break this cycle? So let's imagine that you want to break the cycle. I recommend that you are repeating the same meals every single day, and it's helpful because you don't need to think about how to have energy in the beginning of the day. I rotate between 2 morning meals. For example, I also breakfast. That could be, for example, after working out in the gym, you are drinking 60 grams of protein, 400 grams of skim milk. That is at least 30 grams of protein. And then I'm having 40 grams of carbs because I want to replenish my glycogen stores. If you've been working out in the gym and you are using a lot of energy, you also want to refuel yourself with carbs. So I'm eating a protein bar or a peanut butter sandwich that gives me enough energy to replenish my glycogen stores and not feeling exhausted. I'm getting long-term sustainable energy from whole foods and also complex carbs. And also tracking your calories, that is also something that is going to help you because you are putting in some data to see that you are seeing some results, because to lose weight all around your body, you need to maintain this calorie deficit over a long period of time. And it's just easier if you are eating foods that you really enjoy, spreading out throughout the day so you have consistent energy levels. And that is easier if you want to lose weight with a busy schedule. The third mistake is that you are trying to be perfect and you have this mindset of being all or nothing, and that is going to screw you up, because if you are thinking that one bad meal where you are eating way over your calorie deficit, that is going to be evolved to a whole week of bad eating because you feel like very bad and your conscience is making you feel like you want to give up, and that is not going to happen. Because if you want to have a long-term sustainable weight loss journey where you are eating foods that you really enjoy and maintain it and enjoying it, that is needed where you are eating 80% of the foods coming from foods that you really enjoy and 20% of the foods that can be switched out with something that is not on your meal plan normally. The way to do that is you are having a subscription to MyFitnessPal and you are having your calorie deficit with the amount of calories you need to be in a calorie deficit, the macros, and then you just switch out the type of meals that you enjoy. There's a whole library of the foods that you can eat, and you are not going to, for example, feel guilty because you are having the same calories every single day, and you don't need to For example, guess if you are eating in a calorie deficit, and by seeing the numbers that you are getting in by eating the foods, you are not feeling bad and want to restart because you are just not relapsing, and you're going to lose the weight and sustain that while eating the foods that you really enjoy. And sometimes if you have want to eat something else, you just use a flexible dieting, and that is also easier if you're just switching out the meals that you want. The fourth mistake that you're making is that you are underestimating the amount of liquid calories. For example, you're sabotaging your calorie deficit that you have been building through 6,000 steps every single day, and you've been eating a 300 or 500 calorie deficit, and you are drinking a lot of the calories through beverage, and drinking is not making you feel full. So having all the calories coming from whole foods, that makes you feel fuller. I always recommend that you have low calorie foods and high in volume. So there could be lean chicken breast, salmon, eggs. There's not so many calories in that, but still making you feel full. And you also remove sugary drinks. Instead of drinking, it could be cola with sugar, you're just using Cola Zero. And I don't want you to drink too much alcohol. I just recommend that you don't drink alcohol, at least when you are in your weight loss journey and just trying to make it a habit, because a lot of calories are coming from alcohol, and that can screw up your calorie deficit that you've been busting your ass off throughout the week to maintain. And you are also drinking 4 or 5 liters of water every single day to reduce the hunger levels. If you're in a calorie deficit, you're automatically feeling a lot of hunger, so drinking more water when you are eating is also reducing calorie deficit by just feeling that you are full, and you are going to lose the weight without feeling that you're restricting yourself. And the fifth mistake is that you are moving too little throughout the day. You are having a calorie deficit. That is good. Sustain that for 6-7 days. You are burning like a pound. But if you want to lose weight even faster, you need to expend even more calories. And if you are just sitting all day and not moving, that is not going to help you, because you're just feeling that you are not expending even more calories. So a good way to do that is just downloading a step app where you are just putting in 6,000-8,000 steps, and you're maybe at a point where you're feeling out of shape and you're just taking the stairs to make you feel out of breath, so you're taking the elevator. And that's also the reason why you've been increasing the amount of inches around your waist and make you feel embarrassed when you look yourself in the mirror. So instead of taking the car all the time, go to the gym. Instead of taking the elevator, taking the stairs, walking between meetings, and also after work, you just put in some earphones, and then you can learn new things while walking, and you're burning fat without spending even more time at the gym. And another mistake, that is number 6, is you are not lifting properly. Let's imagine that you're going to the gym and you're doing random workouts, only cardio-based workouts, when you are just going to the gym and spending an hour on a treadmill. The problem with that is that you are losing weight if you are having all the calorie deficit and the weight loss plan in check, but you're still looking soft and not athletic. The best way, in my opinion, to look confident is that you are building a lean toe muscular body with a V-shaper, where you have higher, broader shoulders, small waist. And the way to accompany and get that is you are building your workout plan that is consisting of compound movements. There could be 2 compound movements for every single of the body types that you have. You are having 10 to 12 reps. You are performing 1 to 2 reps before failure, because that is helping you create an environment where you bring down all the muscle tissues, and through the diet plan and rest, you are going to build a lot more muscle. And you have rest between the sets, 60 seconds, and you are also tracking all the strength that you want to increase the weight with 2.5 kilos every single time. And with the compound movements, that's good. And then you want to have 2-3 isolation movements, because in the beginning of the video or the beginning of the workout, you have the most energy levels, and you want to utilize that to break down all the muscle tissues from several muscle groups. That's just compound movements. You are breaking down, you're using several muscle groups, and you lift 4 or 5 times a week in the gym, and then you are going to look more lean, strong, and muscular. And the 7th mistake that you've been making is that you are ignoring the sleep. Let's imagine that you are having the binge eating late at night and you have poor recovery, and that is because that you've been craving a lot of junk food, for example, every single night, and you cannot control your hunger. And how you are mitigating is that you are sleeping the same time every single day, so you are making your body being accustomed to the amount of sleep, and when your natural body clock is make you feel comfortable and relaxed to go to bed, and you also have your bed at a place where you are having black curtains so there's not some lighting disturbing your eyes, sleep mask, earplugs, and you want to have a good temperature where it's not too hot, and you don't want to look at any electronics screen before bed because that can also make you feel awake, and you're just sleeping 8-9 hours every single day. And by doing that, you're going to reduce the cravings and also having a lot more energy. And the eighth mistake is that you don't have any plans for the weekends. For example, you have this weekend mentality where you are, for example, you are having Monday to Friday, you are eating very good, following your restricted diet or your diet where you are in a calorie deficit, and then the next 2 days in the weekend you are just binging, and that is a bad thing, because if you want to lose weight all around your body, you need to maintain this calorie deficit all around your body for a whole week. But if you have been creating this calorie deficit throughout the week and you're eventually just going to eat all the calories that you've been burning, you are just going to erase the calorie deficit and you're not losing weight. So what you should do is use 1 to 2 flexible meal where you are, sometimes if you have following the same meal plan, you are getting tired of this, so you are just switching it out. So you're eating something else on your meal plan and you're switching out the meal plans, and maybe one time a week, if you've been losing weight consistently 1 to 2 pounds every single week, then you pick a, let's imagine that you do that for 2 weeks, then your metabolism in the beginning of the weight loss journey is high, and then it's going to be slower. So to spark a higher metabolism, increase the calories with carbs. So there could be 800 calories coming from carbs. That is going to increase your metabolism and you lose weight even faster. And you are going to stay lean without giving up the social life. So you can, for example, go out with your family and just have a good meal that you're looking forward to. The ninth mistake is that you're not tracking anything. And the mistake is, if you're guessing the amount of food that you're taking in, you are going to be in a higher calorie surplus compared to what you really need. Because if you are thinking that you're doing everything right and nothing is changing, that is where you are at the point of you just guessing if you are losing weight, and you are not going to be satisfied with that, because the fat loss journey is going to take longer than it needs to be, and you're going to have a lot of diet fatigue, and you're still going to be someone who looks in the mirror and thinking, why am I getting fatter when I'm trying to lose weight? And you're tracking your calories every single day and having a journal where you're putting in everything you're doing. You're also having a food scale where you are weighing all the foods in a dry state, because there's a lot of difference when you are weighing your food dry state and cooked state. So the amount of calories is just way difficult and different, and you're just getting a lot more calories than you think you are needing. And by doing that, you're going to have a more clarity, and you're also going to have more control on your fat loss, because it's about numbers game, like how many calories you're getting in compared to how much you are getting out. And the last thing is that you keep restarting instead of just adjusting. So that is a mistake that is making a lot of you ambitious men feeling that you want to quit your weight loss because you are just not fixing the right problem. You are still at the point where you are thinking that after a weekend you are going to start over at Monday and fixing it, and that is not going to help you. So if you've been very good at following your calorie deficit, then you are hitting a weight loss plateau. What you should do is that, let's imagine that you have 300 calorie deficit, you are being 200 calorie deficit more to expand even more calories. Instead of 6,000 steps, you are increasing that to 8,000 steps, and you are reviewing your progress throughout the week. You can always get better, and you are always taking small incremental corrections so you can see how it's going to work, and then you lose weight even more. And then you're going to break the cycle and stay more consistent long term to lose the weight. And if you want to lose the weight for good and become the most healthiest version of yourself, just like you saw with me and my client transformation in the beginning of the video, there's a link in the description and also in the comment section where you can apply for coaching with me, and we'll see if you and I are fit to work together, and I'll help you build a game plan together.